What if Sweden and Finland united before the Winter War? First, some context. Finland first declared independence in December 6, 1917 as a kingdom under German influence. The first king of Finland was supposed to be Prince Frederick Charles of Hesse, who was the brother-in-law of the German Emperor, Wilhelm II, who was given the crown of Finland but never reigned due to the defeat of Germany in World War I. After that, Finland went into a civil war in 1918 where the war was fought between the White Finland and Red Finland. The war would be long and bloody, for Finland losing 1% of their population, but at the end the Whites won and began the process of turning Finland into a kingdom and creating a monarchy. After the Civil War there would be an election between a kingdom ruled by a monarch and a republic ruled by a president. At the end of the election the kingdom will win, while Mannerheim would be acting regent of Finland while a king is chosen. After a long time of Mannerheim as acting regent, Finland finally chooses a king, the being King Gustav V of Sweden. King Gustav being king of Sweden and Finland would make Finland and Sweden into a personal union, massively strengthening both of them economically and militarily. Sweden and Finland would both strengthen themselves, becoming a respectful regional power in the Nordics while also deterring Soviet influence into the country. After the beginning of World War II, the Swedo-Finnish Union would declare armed neutrality in case of German or Soviet aggression on their land. Germany would invade Denmark and Norway, threatening the Swedo-Finnish Union, making them ramp up their military spending and declaring partial mobilization. But it wasn't the Germans who would attack but the Soviets. The Soviets would demand West Karelia and return would give the Swedes some border land. Negotiations would begin between the Swedo-Finnish and the Soviets. The negotiations would be long and the Soviets would start to be impatient. Under Molotov, who would start pointing at random islands saying, "Do you need these?" But one day a bombshell hits the Soviets and claim that Finland did it. The Swedo-Finnish Union denies all accusation, claiming that they could not have bombed the Soviets due to their artillery being deep into their land. The Soviets don't believe them and start to prepare for war against the Swedo-Finnish Union. Mannerheim would mobilize the army and start to ramp up defense and bunkers along the border. After a few days the Soviets will cut all diplomatic relations and declare war, starting the winter. The war would be at first in Soviets' favor but fail most of their offensives. The war would be long and would eventually enter a stalemate phase with minor offensives. But in an unexpected move by the Swedes, they were the one going for the offensive, not the Soviets. The Battle of Kandalaksha would be a decisive battle as it could give the Swedes the advantage. The Swedes were not fighting alone, they got aid from Britain, France and to a certain extent Germany. Going back to the Battle of Kandalaksha, the battle would be bloody and long, as if Sweden won they would have encircled the Kola Peninsula. But if the Soviets won, it could be the first nail in the coffin for Sweden. But due to low supply for the Soviets, they lost the battle, leading to the fall of Kandalaksha and encirclement of the Kola Peninsula. After the fall of the Kola Peninsula, there would be minor Karelian resistance in the Soviet Union, weakening them, and the Swedes would stabilize the front line with minor Soviet offensives. The Soviets would launch minor offensives into Swedish lands, but the Swedes hold them back. The war has been nothing but bad and humiliation for the Soviets, making them more willingly to sign a peace. But the peace would arrive in early 1941 after the German invasion of the Soviet Union. The peace would be mild for Sweden, but they get the Kola Peninsula and land near Lake Ladoga, while also losing some minor land near Leningrad to appease the Soviets. World War II would go the same, but the Soviets will probably lose one of their big cities, that being Leningrad. But the Soviets would push the Germans back, leading to the fate of the Third German Empire. The Finno-Swedish Union will stay neutral in World War II until the Germans surrender. The borders would be the same at the end of World War II, funnily enough. This is the end of the video. If you liked this video and want to see more videos like this, be sure to like and subscribe, and while you are down there, why no, drop a comment. Goodbye.
Tule tyttöny kanssani tanssii, kun polkka niin herkästi helkähtää. Voi hevosurkon ja hammasta murkoon, kun siellä on ihmesi suurempi pää. Tule tyttöny kanssani tanssii, niin meillä on